Hey, you guys. Is anyone else having crazy ass dreams? I posted, or I don't know when I'm going to post it. I didn't post it yet, but I saw this thing yesterday when I was going to post something. I swear Spirit sends me messages because the things that I repost that I show you guys on Instagram and sometimes on YouTube are things that I saw right when I went on there, or like I'll hear scroll down, a little bit or whatever. And yeah, so anyway, I saw this thing and another light worker that I follow, I just woke up. Was like, is anybody else having crazy ass dreams? And I was like, oh my God, that's so wild, because I really am. And then last night was like the craziest of them all. So I felt like I needed to talk about it because I'm starting to understand what's happening, for me anyway. I mean, everybody has their own definitions of their own stuff, right? But for me, how I've deciphered when I'm astral traveling and when I'm in my deep subconscious mind dreaming, working shit out. When I'm astral traveling, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, sometimes it takes me a minute and I'm like, am I the person? Am I an observer? Like, I have to like figure it out. So I guess I should have like played with my hair more. I'm so paunchy the holidays. Oh my gosh. And I've just been having way too much fun, but it's okay. It's like I'm on vacation, so I'll take it. But yeah, so last night was crazy. It was so crazy that I've been having the same reoccurring people showing up in my dreams. That's the crazy thing. Like, my sister and her husband, which is really weird. And normally I see them first and then I'm like, oh shit. And I'm trying to avoid them. I'm trying to go around. I'm like, oh, don't see me. Don't. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't exist. I'm not here. Don't see me. You don't see me, But like last night it was funny because yesterday Ed was telling me some school story when he was a kid, and then somehow we started talking about malls, and he's like, when's the last time you were in a mall? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, if I was, it's because I had to be there or somebody needed a ride. I'm like, because I literally don't know the last time I was in a mall. But of course, like last night in my dream, I was in a mall looking for whatever, and I saw my brother-in-law standing. It was like 2 levels, and I remember looking up and seeing lights and thinking that's where I wanted to go. And then my eyes went straight down, and I saw my brother-in-law standing there holding a bag under his arm, and he was like undoing a paper wrapper. He was eating a piece of candy. And he looked really good too. Like, he looked really fit and healthy, and he looked really calm and peaceful. So, I mean, I've known the man since I was, 5 years old. So I know I could have gone up to him and been like, hey, Dan, and he'd be like, hey, Kel. And, because no matter how we all feel about each other, politics or all that aside, we still inherently love each other, right? So it's funny, but I didn't. In fact, I was like, because I was on a mission to do something else and I was lost. That's the funny thing. I was lost on my mission. And I just remember I was like in this place, in this mall, looking for it, like a treasure map. Like I was looking for something, but it was like, I knew he couldn't help me in any way, which is interesting. I'm just kind of sorting this out right now. And then I just like looked away from him and I started to walk around the outskirts, the perimeter, because I thought, well, if he turns, I'm just going to dart in a store, but I didn't really want to go in a store or be weird. What if they walked in there? So I just was like my brain always goes to 100 places. By the way, that is my Arcturian. I have been having these huge breakthroughs with the Arcturian stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my brain makes so much sense to me. My labyrinth, my Lula's labyrinth makes so much sense to me, I'm just like a gateway, and from what I've understood, like Arcturus and Arcturians, we're like the gateway to like God, the creator, so it's interesting. There's so much, you guys, there's so much. It's going to be in my books, but anyway, so like so much stuff like is making sense to me while I'm telling you this. But my brain thinks so much faster than most people. And I'm realizing the people that I pull to me are like that. So they're either from Arcturus or, a level of Arcturian, or they're somewhere like that. Anyway, my brain, I'm like, I'm so tired. I need to refocus because my brain's going in all these different places right now. So then, so anyway, so I try to avoid him. And then as I'm going around, whatever, I see my sister, but I'm going this way, but she's like going like this. I have to hold the phone or else I tell you. You know what I mean? So like I'm going this way and my brother-in-law is like here. So I'm going around. But as I'm here, she's kind of coming from this way, but she's doesn't see me. If she turned her head just a few degrees, she would see me, but she's not looking for me. So she's like zoned in on him, right? And so I was like, oh shit. I'm like, and seriously, they both looked amazing. They looked happy. They looked calm. They looked good. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And so like I went around and the whole dream this is the funniest fucking thing ever. I'm going to tell you this. So it starts out, it was my birthday and Selma Hayek, who just happens to be like one of my really close friends, Selma Hayek, is taking me to this art thing for my birthday. And I'm getting all dressed up and blah, 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 blah. And I decided that I wanted to go do a few things first. And even though I was dressed up, I didn't care. Long story short, we were in Portland and I kept getting lost, which is weird because I lived there for a very long time. But I kept getting lost. And then it was like every time I needed something, it wasn't there. Like, okay, so like everything from like, I've looked down because I'm like, wait, I thought I was going north. And I was like, gosh, I'm like, Portland has changed so much. And it's true. The last few times I've been there, I'm like, I wouldn't know where I was because I literally was like, that used to be there. That used to be there. Like, it's like a whole different, it's fucking weird. Cause I moved to Portland in 2001. So, gosh, it's coming up on 9 years. That's crazy. It's coming up on 9 years. I lived on the Northwest and then I live in the Northwest. But it was just so weird. And like, I mean, I can go into so many fucking things happen. And the crazy part was this is how I decipher the subconscious because I couldn't go, I couldn't leave. And it was like every obstacle had like, I could make a choice on how I was going to handle it. I can make a choice on like what I was going to say, what I was going to do. It was totally up to me, but it depended like how much did I want to commit to it. And then I realized when I woke up, because I woke up on a really like kind of fucked up part and I'm just like, I'm exhausted. It felt like such a fruitless evening of sleep, because I didn't really get a good night's sleep. Because I was in this crazy fucking subconscious maze, this bubble of like confusion. But it wasn't. It was just, I feel like it's my subconscious like begging me to let stuff go. Just let it go. An ex-boyfriend of mine has been coming up a lot in my dreams lately, and he came up again last night. And I remember also like, and my family would hate me for saying this, but it's true. A lot of things were blamed on me, or like, oh, that you're like this, or why are you like this, or why are you like that? And I started to realize, like, when I was waking up, especially in the last 2 years, going home so much and spending so much time with my friends and family, or, people that I grew up with, I started to realize, like, yeah, I was the common denominator, but what made me the common denominator was I was a sponge that picked up things as a child because I was an empath, and all of my stuff is learned behavior. I didn't teach myself at 7 or 8 years old how to be this or that. You know what I mean? I guess I could, of course, but I'm saying, like, as children, we are observers. We're looking at everything around us. We're picking everything up around us. That's our job. Like, we're observers. We're here to collect data, right? When we first come over as children, and then we learn how to conduct ourselves as an adult. And so I've had to deprogram and unlearn all of these horrible things. And I know that part of this dream, why I had to go through it, is I talked to my mom on Christmas. She's actually the only person I talked to because Ed and I have been in the most amazing love bubble. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting out of it. It's been fun to like post things here and there, but like we've had we had the most beautiful Christmas we've ever had together ever. And it was our 5th year together. And it was just really sublime. And I just didn't want to share it too much because it was ours, and we talked about so much stuff. And that's why I posted on my Instagram some time ago about working out your stuff, with other people, working out your childhood with other people. And that's what we've been realizing. Like his therapy helps us because we talk about his stuff. And then we talk about like, I'll have breakthroughs when I read for people on my own shit. And it's just been really amazing and warm and fuzzy. And I just wanted to stay in that place, in that love bubble, you know? So, this might have gone to a two-parter. I just realized that my phone is, I need to clean out my phone. I've been taking too much video and stuff. Anyway, long story short, that's why I've been quiet, because I've just been working through so much stuff. And I know I astral travel so much. I work so much, and when I'm sleeping, that I know that these things are mine, because I can't leave when I'm there. And I don't even have any perception that I can leave. It's more of like, I have this sense of feeling trapped. But of course I can leave anytime I want. And I could go astral travel out of that dream into somewhere different if I wanted to. But I'm realizing that I'm untangling these last few knots. I have to untangle these knots so that I can truly finish what I started. And I want to talk about, so anyway, basically, long story short, yesterday I read some of my book to Edward, because I said on Christmas I talked to my mom. And I know my mom enough to know that my mom knows me enough that when I'm going to do something, when I really, really set my mind on something, I will do it until it's done. And my mom knows that about me. And she heard it in my voice, and she was like, you know, we started talking about publishers, and like, my mom's an amazing avid reader. She reads like 3 books a week. She's amazing. She's given me some great advice on my writing on these books and in my life. She's an amazing writer herself. But, anyway, I started to realize, I'm like, this is like, my mom wants me to read some of it to her. And I was going through the book with Ed, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to read to my mom, because all of everything is going to hurt her at some point. And I don't want her to feel like she can't read it, but I also like, I need to be like, Mom, you need to be totally impartial, because it is loosely based on us. And there are, like, it was funny, I said Ed, I'm like, there's some parts it's like, yeah, that's my life, like to a T, like that's exactly what happened, that's how it went down, that's how, you know. And then there's other things where I'm like, no, this happened, but like, I saw it this way, or I saw it going this way, but it didn't. It went another way. Anyway. So anyway, just so much shit, and I'm like trying to work through it. I suggest you do the same. I've been taking so much time, you know, Edward and I, like, we spend time together, and then we spent time apart, and then we spent time together, and then we spent time apart. My bun's falling apart. But it's been so freeing and so cathartic. You know, spend these next weeks, this winter, whatever, really go inward. I am imploring you to go inward and like have a big bun like me. I look like I'm from another time period. I love it. You know what I mean? Like, go inward and sort through your shit. Stop making excuses. Stop saying, oh, I'll do it, or I'm going to, or whatever. It's like, no, this is it. And this year is like, it's because we're coming off the year of the pig, which is like a really beautiful, fruitful, like, that's why we lived lavishly or whatever. Well, the next year is the year of the rat. And I'll put some information here, but it's coming up in, I think, February, second week in February, first week in February, on the Chinese New Year. Shit's about to get real. And you either are going to participate, or you're going to wish you had done things sooner. Nothing's going to, like, there's no fatal weird thing like the Bible, like that. I'm just saying, like, you're going to recognize that, like, it's just, I just don't want you to go through another year of heartache and heartbreak and whatever, when, like, yeah, it's going to happen. But I mean, I don't want you to drag it out any longer than it has to be. Sometimes you just got to fucking nip it in the butt right there and just be like, that's it. That's it. That's it. Anyway, I'm going to continue to go on this path and figure it out. And the cool thing was, is I read my favorite chapter, part of my favorite chapter to Edward, and I'd read him some of the other part before, but he, like, just hearing him laugh or hearing him like go, oh, you know what I mean? Like, just like that, I was like, wow, because he's emotional, but he's all emotion on the inside. Like, he doesn't like say it out loud. And when I was reading it to him, I could feel it. And then I even said to him, even if he didn't like it, I wouldn't care, because when I was reading it out loud, I was like, I go, this is the best thing I've ever done with my life. And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's amazing. I'm like, I can't wait, dude. I'm like, I can't wait. And I'm really starting to like put characters together. I'm already like going into book 2. It's just, I can't wait. So go after your dreams, man. Don't let go. You can't let your friends and family stop you, and you can't be in people's bullshit. I've had to let go of so many people, and I love them all so much. And I don't know if it's forever, but I know for now I had to let go of so many people all over that I couldn't anymore. Whether it was happening to me or to other people, I couldn't hear things anymore. I need to stay where I need to stay, because what I'm doing is bigger than anything I've ever done. So, all right, I'm gonna go get some water and get hydrated. I need to go on a little fast today, because yeah, I'm even laying down and I'm like, look at my cute little chubby cheeks. And this is like from being swollen from salt and sugar for 3 days. Love bubble. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a blessed day. I love you. Oh.